Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Shai Bahashem Rakar. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, among the heathen nations that be like unto the speckled bird, and to the few Akwaf, the sisters that are listening and learning. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And we're going to get into this article today because this article was sent to me by my professor, and I started reading it, and actually was reading the scriptures and listening to a video, and a brother mentioned Psalm 64, how the tongues will fall upon themselves. And the biggest voices against Bill Gates, Bill Gates of hell, and his vaccines are other Edomites. All right, now you got to think of it. And it just marvels to me how much this horrific, pathetic specimen of a man looks like his horrific specimen of a woman. His very racist, outright racist grandmother, Margaret Sanger. Her genes are strong in him because he just looks just like her. All right. And right, so imagine him a woman, exactly. But it reads right here, and this is an article that was on RT, all right, and it says expose Bill Gates explodes on Twitter as conspiracy theorists vow to avoid COVID vaccine connected to billionaire. And there's so many scientists and doctors who will come out and have spoken against this whole thing. All right, it's ridiculous how much they have, but you got to remember who owns the media. So they're getting drowned out on the mainstream media, and most sheeple in America don't. If it isn't on MSNBC, CNN, ABC, or Fox, then they don't. They disregard it. And hell, just watched Dave Chappelle's concert, which I laughed all of 3 times because the situation is so serious. Even the comedian couldn't be funny. I mean, he still made you laugh, but it was more serious than it was comedy. And he basically talked about he mentioned in his sit down, I would say in his concert, that the entities that we're supposed to trust in for information have all lied to us, and they continuously lied. Okay, but let's get into this article. It says Bill Gates' omnipresence in the media during the COVID-19 pandemic has turned into mass obsession with many, and conspiracy theorists got expose Bill Gates trending on Twitter on a planned day of action. The coronavirus pandemic created a number of speculations around the Microsoft founder over support extended lockdown measures, his large contributions to World Health Organization, the WHO, and the past comments on vaccines. Now, you got to remember, this man is in the family line of Margaret Sanger, and he's carried on his family work. And what was his family work? Margaret Sanger was openly racist and said that she was all for the extermination or the to make what's the word that I'm looking for? To sterilize the Negro race. All right, that was what she was all about. And so this man has been all about. If you listen to his speeches and really listen to what he's saying, all he speaks about is depopulation. So the man and depopulation through and you got to remember, his family is the one that set up Planned Parenthood. All right, which are responsible for the murder of untold millions of people, and most of them Jakes. All right, but he's murdered many of his own people too in those Planned Parenthoods. That's why they push the agenda that they push in America for promiscuous, promiscuous girl, and promiscuous, and when women are promiscuous like that, the result of that is a lot of abortions, a lot of different sexual partners, and a lot of abortions, which ruins and destroys the society and people. because biblically a woman is supposed to be one man. A woman's is not supposed to be entered into by different seeds. All right. When you have a pot of dirt, typically you plant, you got some really good fertile soil. You plant the seeds of whatever it is that goes in there. You don't plant other seeds in there. All right. That's just not how it works. Okay. But you're gonna look at the man who's been the biggest advocate of destruction of human life. All of a sudden, he wants to save human life. This is Psalm 64:1, and it says, "Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." And see that the insurrection of the workers of iniquity that's that counsel. It's in Psalm 83. The Lord names the races by name who are the enemies of the Most High and of His people. And Edom is in that list twice. Okay? It says, and here's what it says in the article. It says, "The public is finally waking up. I never liked this guy, and if you really listen to him talk and watch interviews, you know he doesn't have our best interests in mind." Author Peter Vogue tweeted on Saturday. It was one of the many tweets linked to the expose Bill Gates hashtag, which itself stemmed a planned day of action announced by Derek Braz of last month to expose the billionaire. All right, and it says Peter Vogue 23. "The public is finally waking up. I never liked this guy, and if you really listen to him talk, watch his interviews, you know he doesn't have our best interest in mind. Wake up, expose Bill Gates." So that's the hashtag, and I guess this Peter Vogue guy is one of the main people pushing for this. But like I said, the biggest advocate of depopulation in his family's work, and all of a sudden the same guy who's been about depopulation all of a sudden wants the same people. No, the virus is what's going to destroy and kill a lot of people and sterilize a lot of people. The same thing they were doing in Africa, which failed. He and his wife has been in Africa for over a decade, sterilizing Hamites over there, and Israelites as well. There's still a lot of Israelites mixed in with the Hamite population over there, especially in the west coast of Africa. All right, and they've been over there sterilizing those people. But the crazy thing is that their food hasn't been as tainted as it is over here in America, and as a result of that, their bodies heal, and they're the most populous, fertile people on the planet at this time. Because I was just watching a video, and it said that the number one place in the world where children are being born is in Africa, and I'm going to believe mainly that's because of the Israelites that are over there, and the fact that they can drink their water and eat, better quality of food that isn't so. You see him holding a drug and a needle in his hand. The food here is so processed and drugged up that it's ruining people. That's why his own people's population is so low. And not to mention they just weaker in nature and weaker in sperm, in the first place. So they were already not populating as much as the rest of the nations anyway. That's why his grandmother and his grandfather and his mother and father, their life's work has been to depopulate the dark people, especially the Israelites, so-called Negroes. All right, the tribes of Judah. This is Psalm 64:3. "Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even their bitter words." So he'll give these elaborate speeches where he'll talk as if he actually cares for people. But like the man said, if you actually listen to him, they're all about depopulation, just like it says on the Georgia Guidestones. All right, they want to bring the Earth's population down to 500 million, and that's why they have all their bunkers and their luxury bunkers for when the shit completely and totally hits the fan. All right, when it erupts into the Civil War, which is gonna be a food riot / race riot / total chaos. All those which is gonna be full blown Jacob's trouble, and which has already begun. All right. But like I said, the biggest advocate against these people, the loudest voices against them, are other Edomites. Here's the last American vagabond. I've watched his videos lots of times. He does good videos. Today is the life. Today is the expose Bill Gates Day of Action. The first day, the silent majority stands up around the world to speak in one voice that we no longer believe their lies. See, that's where a lot of people are just taking off the mask. because COVID is a big fraud, like a whole lot of other things in American society. A lot of things that they do to take your money and tax you is fraud as well. Like many things in America done under the color of law, all right, and not law at all, and people just are ignorant to it, and so they pay into it. All right, it says that we free human beings forge our own path and demand accountability to the people, starting with Bill Gates. All right, Twitter, Last Vagabond. Please take a moment and read the fantastic Bill Gates series written by Debras Live Free that I feel was the primary reason TLAV fell under attack. See what they clearly don't want you to see. Part 2 can be found at the end of the article. Expose Bill Gates, the last American vagabond. And then it gives the rest of his information. I'm not going to read all that. But it just goes back to, hey, let's just read the scripture, man. This is Psalms 64 and 4. And it says, they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do shoot at him, and fear not, and encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune, laying snares privily. They shall say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish diligent search, both inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But power shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. Verse 8. So they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's what you're seeing. Their own people are telling and exposing, man. All right. That's exactly what you're seeing. Let's get one more scripture here. I'm going to go to book of Job 15 and 6. And it reads, wait a minute. It's not Job 15:6. Job. Oh, I'm in Psalms, no wonder. I'm like, wait a minute. I need to be in Job, Salakia. And it reads, thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yet thine own lips testify against thee. All right, so their own people are exposing them. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abishai, Bashim Rakakwadash, Wa Abba Shalom.